Well, I guess I'm gonna get sucked into making a comment. I don't know why I feel like I need to make comment on this Hussein Kipe. Apparently, he's a YouTuber or a political figure online that's doing a video commentary. I don't know, but he shocked his dog for getting off his pet bed, or what we trainers call a climb. So this is just my view as a canine trainer that's worked with everything from basic obedience puppies to military working dogs and service dogs. And yes, I do use e-collars. And I'm going to go through, for anybody who doesn't really know, let me take this one off. I started just using these mini educators. They look like this. Let me see if you see. It usually says mini educator on it, but you see there's a knob here that controls the level. See, it's set at 2 because if I accidentally have this thing in my pocket or for some reason one of the buttons gets pushed, he's not going to get a stimulation. And on the side here is a buzzer. That's what I use. My dog's been trained properly to, here, I'll even do a demonstration. Here. So I buzzed him. Good boy. Look at that, a good boy. Nice. But that's a good boy. He's never been, as some people call, shocked. The stimulation feels like this on the neck, and the harder you flick, the higher the level is. So like a dog would just be like a tap. See that? Just a tap, and it's foreign to them. They've never felt anything like that, so it's weird. It's not really a shock, and a human doesn't feel it until level 20 on their wrist, or if they're holding the probes in their palm. He's got the collar on, so I can't really demonstrate that. But on the back, if I can get in there, there's an L. You see that? That's a light. On the collar, there's a light. So at night, there's 2 ways to work that. You press it once and you get a flashing light, and you press it again, you get a steady, continuous light. It helps so you can see your dog at night. That's the whole reason I went with these collars, because I like the light feature on it. I used to have another kind but it didn't have a light on it. And then these 2 buttons over here, the top one is for just like a nick. It's a quick nick. And the other one is it'll raise the level by 5 or 10, however you can set it. So if you're set at, let's say, level 2, if I hit that red button and I have it set at 5, it'll make it a 7. And usually those are for, like, if you correct your dog and they don't do anything, then you can, raise it up. And so, it's kind of like no, I mean now. But let me put this back on. When you train a dog on these e-collars, and somebody used in quotation marks, I seen a lady, she said, you call it an e-collar, that's just another word for shocking. Well, okay, but it's not a shock. I'm telling you. It's just a thump. And she can probably dispute that as well, but okay, whatever. She claimed that she was like a rescue and whatever, but that's why I'm on here, because people like that are just not informed of what an e-collar does. But when you train a dog on these e-collars, that's kind of the most difficult part, because you want to find the level that the dog works at. A working level is a level that they get stimulation, but it's just a light tap, and it's making communication to them, to whatever command they're following. for instance, in this example, would be a climb. Now, in my opinion, well, let me finish up with that thought first. So, once your dog gets a working level, it's rarely above 5 or 6. I think I've seen somebody using a 9 one time, and then the argument is, well, why do they have 100 levels? Because this goes from 0 to 100. Because they're that finely tuned. There's not a huge difference between a 2 and a 3. You know, so it's so finely tuned that you can get the level of stimulation you want. Some of these cheaper collars that you go to at the store, they have 7 levels. And level 1 will make these dogs just jump out of their skin. They're terrible. And so that's where, you know, combined with that and somebody that doesn't know how to use them, just shocking their dog, that's where the bad press per se comes from, is that. And they would be absolutely right for saying something against those type of collars. I talk about it, but they're 70 something bucks. They're cheap. Where these collars that with 0 to 100 are waterproof, they're usually a couple $100. You're going to pay more, but you're getting a product, a good product that's accurate and effective. So what he should have done, a dog, when I have a dog in my house, or anytime really, they wear a collar and they drag a spaghetti leash or a groomer's leash around with them for 18 months, 2 years, till they're mature and they understand we got to work in a relationship. It takes a while. These dogs just don't learn overnight. You know, there's no magic sprinkle dust. You have to continuously work with these dogs. And they will regress if you don't. So what he should have done was he would have had a collar on, a leash, and if he's seen that dog getting up off the climb, he should have stopped his thing, whatever he's doing, turned around, grabbed the end of the leash, and said, "Phooey," or "No, climb." And a quick correction, using 2 fingers, a light correction. If the dog is trained properly, it'll get back up. But chances are, the dog probably had to go to the bathroom or wanted a drink of water, or was just sick of sitting there after 4 hours. I think his thing was 4 hours. So my takeaway from this is that this kid was not trained properly on how to use an e-collar, if trained at all. I don't see really a trainer teaching somebody to thump their dog like that right away. I always give a dog a chance. You know, I say climb without correction, and if they don't, then I correct them back on it. I make them get on the climb, and then I free them up, and then we figure out what's going on. Maybe a potty break is in order or whatever. But you just don't thump your dog as soon as their foot hits the ground. Now, there might be some trainers, some new trainers, I don't know. There might be some trainers out there to do that, but your good trainers are not going to do that. We want a working relationship. We want a communication with our animal. We don't want a submissive dog at all. So what I recommend for this Hussein kid to do is find a good trainer, educate himself if he wants to use an e-collar, give his dog over to a trainer, and let this trainer bring some confidence back into this dog, because I can see it. I've seen the dog cowering, and that's a sign of overstimulation. I apologize for the chainsaw. So that's just my thoughts on this whole situation. I wanted to keep it short, but for everybody chiming in that don't understand e-collars, read up on them. You know, they are a good tool to use. And my dog is off leash because of that. He's able to do what he likes to do when we go on our walks. So it's Ollie, here. Watch. Ollie, here. See, did you see any? There's nothing, right? Good boy. All right. So that's a little bit about the e-collar. Y'all have a nice day.